Wakabi, we're joined by Colonel Victor Kang'ethe, is the chef de mission, Kenya Defence Forces Golf, and Major Jeremy Karaso, who will be in action representing Kenya, is the captain of the Kenyan team. Do you feel the pressure?
No pressure at all.
You're used to this?
I'm used to this.
First of all, I think for us, we need to understand, what is this championship? What is the CISM Military World Golf Championships?
Okay, the CISM is a French word, Council International Sport de Militaire.
Yes, pronounce it perfectly.
Yes, the two of you, that's your forte.
Yes.
It was founded in 18th February 1948 after World War II, when in France, in a town called Nice in France, where they saw that they were trying to promote sports through to promote peace through sports in the armed forces. So countries like Luxembourg, France, Germany, and Netherlands signed in so that they could bring all the post-warring countries now to play sports. Then fast forward now, it built up forward to many sports, to almost 140 countries nationally. Then finally, around 2003, we were able to host our first golf tournament in Fortville in Florida, US. And now we're in the 16th edition. So the purpose was to promote peace through sports, and all the other disciplines were able to feature in. Then much later in 2003 is when we were able to hold our first military golf games.
So other than golf, the other major disciplines, what are the other key major disciplines? You know, like the way we say the Olympics, the major discipline is swimming and athletics. Yeah, so which one are the major ones when you talk about the military games? Okay,
major deals, of course, all disciplines in athletics. Even we have water games like rowing and sports. We have football, we have basketball, all the major sports that are there, which are being played generally are in the World Military Games.
How often are we having the military games? Are they
the World Military Games for golf is annually.
Oh, so they're different in terms of, so how are they separated? Is there a different calendar for athletics, for football? How does that work?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe, how to put it, just imagine the Olympics.
Yes.
If you had the Olympics and then you had an African Olympics, you had a World Olympics for football only, similar to the World Cup.
Yes.
A World Olympics for rugby only, a World Olympics for, and then every 4 years you have the Olympics. So it's something similar to that. So every 4 years you have World Military Games.
Yep.
Every so often you have the Africa Military Games. You have regional military games, where now it's regional, it's East Africa only. And then now you have an international of those individual sports.
Yep.
So golf is just one of them. There are over 20 sports, and golf is just one of them. Some very rare sports, I think, like orienteering, naval pentathlon sports, probably you've never heard of.
Which one is that? That sounds very
military pentathlon.
I know penta is five.
It's five. Yeah, it's five disciplines.
So it's kind of like the triathlon, but you know, militarized a little bit with obstacles and all that. You have the fencing, which was amongst the first ones, equestrian, and then now, of course, the softballs, basketball, rugby, football, the kawaida ones that we know. So that's pretty much it. And so golf as an event is annual.
Yeah.
The world, the CISM World Golf Games are annual. So last year we were in Zimbabwe, the year before that we were in the US. There was a COVID break somewhere in between. We had it in China, Beijing, you know, there's that. So next year I think it will be held somewhere, probably in the Dominican Republic or something like that.
Okay.
Most likely.
Island. They're still bidding.
Yeah, most likely. I think they're still bidding. So yes, so this year we are the ones hosting it, and we are the second African country to do that.
To do it after Zim.
To do it after Zim. Zimbabwe was the first.
Yes. That's on the golf now.
That's on the golf.
But then now, so like football, what happens? Football has its own kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes.
And we also held the African Military Games. I think that was around 2002 there.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong. I think it was 2002. African Military Games was held here. I think that was the second one.
Yeah, it was the second one, yes.
Second African Military Games.
Major Jerry, did you compete in last year's edition? How was it for you, if you did?
Okay, last year I was not able to compete because I was deployed. But Kenya emerged 7th. Yeah, 7th overall in the tournament. Being the first time to compete actively in that tournament, we were still very green. But at least this year we've been trying to like narrow in the scores and make sure that we are able to compete well. But last year I was not able to compete.
How did you feel being handed the flag, that responsibility, in a different setting? Because, of course, you represent the country in a different setting, but this time around you're being given in a sporting setting, receiving the flag, and it's on home soil. How did it feel? You're the captain of the Kenya Defence Forces golf team.
Okay, well, my uniform, I always carry Kenya on my shoulder. So
Yes.
now being handed the flag by the Chief of the Defence Forces is the greatest honor. And it's also a burden on you, like to know that you are carrying the hopes
Yes.
of the nation. So it was bittersweet, yes. Okay, not bittersweet, it was sweet because now we are representing the country in home soil. And yes, we hope to be ready then to make sure that we make the best of the tournament.
How have you been preparing as an individual? Because of course you're leading the Kenyan team.
Yes, yes.
How many members are you going to be? Is it comprised of?
Yes.
Help us understand like the composition of the Kenyan team.
Okay, the CISM setup is called a mission. It's composed of 11. We have the chief de mission. I am the team captain. We have 6 male players and 3 female. So in terms of training, we started way back in February. Of course, team selections based on handicaps. Then fourth and fourth, we've been dropping based on performance and everything. Then now we are narrowing in. We are currently the team is in Diani. I flew back for this interview, but I'll be joining them back hopefully on Wednesday, so that we can narrow in the ties and bring it home. Yes.
I'm curious, okay?
Yeah.
Football, we all know. You know, Scarlet,
Yes.
Ulinzi, Kahawa. It used to be called Kahawa, but there used to be
Yes.
one right up the
Spitfire.
road. Spitfire,
Spitfire,
okay?
yes.
So think about athletics, Paul Tergat to Helen Obiri, okay? I'm thinking golf. I'm trying to think at what point, how does golf fit into this whole place? Do you guys have specific people who play the golf? How do you, I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe to answer this, maybe it was all about demystifying golf. I think we had some land, and it was an officer's idea. He said, "Why don't we start golf in this place?" And that time, golf was a very rare sport. Only a handful of officers used to play golf.
Yeah.
And so people said, "Okay, why not? Let's start it." We started as a joke. There in Moya Base,
Yes.
and put up some few greens, three holes, and there were browns actually, not even greens. Were not,
I understand.
they were brown.
They were browns, not
Changa.
greens.
Yes.
And people said Tuanze, and so some golfers, being the generous people they are, gave out some kit.
Yeah.
And people would walk in with the different clubs. Another one is holding number 4, and I said I was a footballer, I was a defender. I was a winger, so we would carry 7 iron, just hit it in that field. And golfers were actually very patient with us. And
Yes.
over time, that's picked slowly by slowly. And if you look at it now, we are doing our 3rd course. So we have Moya Base. Thika Barracks has done theirs, and the Navy is doing an 18-hole now.
In Tongo.
So it's good because it gives a chance for even the junior most person to play with the senior most and actually beat them, and it's a good feeling. So we have encouraged the sport and demystifying the fact that you have to have money to play golf.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have played golf in this country started their golf in Moya Base when it was the most affordable club. It still is to play golf, and we have produced a lot of stars and zero handicappers in the country. So
I'm curious. So you have 3. So you have the one in Mombasa is the one that is
ongoing.
It's ongoing.
It's
You've
ongoing.
got Thika and you've got
Moya
Moya
Base,
Base.
yes.
Are they open to the public or
Yes.
is it? Or
Yes, they are open to the public, but of course sponsored by an officer who is serving.
yes.
Yes.
And when they get to play, is it anyone can play? Is there, I don't know, because I'm trying to think in football, for example,
Yes.
even when you guys have kids who are playing for Ulinzi, we all knew these kids are going to be taken to RTS and then they'll come out, they'll join the team.
Yes.
The likes of Kokoyo who are now maybe retired, you know?
Yes, yeah.
Those are guys from my days. So I'm just curious, with the golf, how does it go? How do guys get the chance to play? How do you guys select them? Does Major help selecting them, or how does it
Selecting in terms of recruitment?
just getting a chance to play? Like,
Yes. Or
do
getting a
I
chance
just
to play.
get up and say, guys, I think I
Yes.
can, from my days of cutting, slashing
Okay.
grass, I can do.
Okay, if you showed interest in golf, for example, you can tell me I want to start golf, and I'll tell you, when do you want to start? Saturday, we can meet Saturday, I'll book you at the gate, we'll go to the golf course, introduce you to the pro there, maybe you've never hit a ball, go to the range, play a little bit. And if your interest is good, then we say, let's meet on Wednesday and we go to the field, or Thursday, and so on and so forth, until such a time that you acquire a handicap or you become whatever, apply for membership and all those things that come with golf. So that is possible. And
What's the uptake like? Like from the junior officers, are they
very
excited about
actually
it?
very high. The junior officers actually are some of the highest, and the ones mid, almost retiring, are some of the highest, because golf is a very good sport. It's one of the few sports that at 87 you'll be able to play, and so you can play with your great grandchild. You know, that little 4 or 5 year old boy, and you're 87. You know, it's very fulfilling. It's the only game you'll do that.
Right.
Most of the other games by 55, some by 30, you're already retired.
Yeah.
And you'll never get a chance to. But golf, you will. At 80, there are a lot of people at 80, at 100. The other day we saw at Muthaiga.
Yeah.
Somebody still playing golf. So,
I'm curious.
so if you look at it,
yes.
when you're retiring, you ask yourself, how am I going to keep myself fit? The best way to do it is to start golf. So there is that level, and there are those who have just joined, and they have the energy, the skill, and the finesse, and they are saying, "Oh, it's not that hard. Let me start it."
What
and in
made you
between
start
they pick
golf?
it. I've always wanted to start golf. In that team that when golf was starting, I started it at that time.
Aha, nice.
And I said,
You're a pioneer.
let me go back to my basketball. This thing.
You go back to Lindsay Warriors.
One of my biggest regrets, yes.
Yes.
But then during COVID, of course, it was difficult to interact and all that. So I decided, let me go now back to my game. I had a kit, I had everything, and I started the game. And I've never looked back. I think it's been one of the best decisions that I ever made. Yeah, really nice.
Major,
Yes.
when did you pick up a golf club? Was it because of Moyea base? Were you playing
Actually,
before?
a very interesting nugget of information on Kabi.
Yes.
You know, when I saw him the first time, he looked a bit familiar.
Yes.
He actually played rugby.
Yeah, I played rugby.
Even better, this story gets better. So let's start. From rugby to the army to captain of the military team for golf.
Yes. Well, in 2004, after high school, I joined Ulinzi Rugby after playing rugby in high school. Then later that year, it got disbanded. It's a long story. I don't want to bring it on air. So when I joined cadet school in 2005, served the military all up to the rank of captain. Around 2012, Major General retired Owino, the biggest big ups to you. They usually say that what an old man can see sitting down, a young man cannot see while standing. So General Owino came up with the idea that he wanted to have a golf course in Thika. Then it was a foreign idea for Army. You know, Army, we are very deployed most of the time. So he tasked so many of us, me being among them, to be in charge of like preparing the golf course, just the management. Then is when I got the interest. And he told me that I'm putting you here because I want you to play this sport. So from then in 2014, I started playing golf. And the best thing about it in the Army, we say that we wanted to demystify golf. Golf was seen as very elitist, but we wanted the sporting aspect of it. Like now, a private soldier who is not a rich person will have the aspect bit of it. And yes, we're able to now, the part of interaction was able to bring us together, like officers and service members, and the civilians also were able to come and gel in with officers. Yes, so that's how I was able to play golf. And I've been playing it on and off because of military deployment.
Right.
Yes.
Let me ask, the first time you took a golf club, how was it? There must have been a bit of culture because you're coming from a slightly bigger ball. It was a much smaller one. A much smaller one.
Okay.
How was it like adapting because you're coming from a contact sport?
Yes,
And you're coming now to play a sport where to some extent you're your own referee.
Yes. My first day in golf was horrible. It was very horrible.
How many bogeys?
No, not bogeys
You
at
don't
all.
even get to the bogey, man.
You don't get to the bogeys.
You're just hitting it at the range.
Yes, we had graded up an area that we call a range. Range is where you hit balls and train.
Where you train.
So General Wino then had hired a pro to come and teach us. So everybody was being given a chance to hit the ball.
Ulitoa nyasi mingi sana.
Nilikuwa na miss. I was hitting the ground karibu nivunje club. So when people started laughing, me being a perfectionist of some sort, I went now behind the scenes now, invested a lot in golf, and now loved it, and now I'm playing it. Yes.
So at the start, you are both learning the sport and managing
The construction.
construction of
Yes.
how.
Yes.
I think that was the harder bit.
Well,
Or how did that go on about?
no, well, it wasn't the harder bit because I come from the Corps of Engineers. There's a whole plethora of officers from the landscape architects and other engineers and everything. So my aspect wasn't basically on the design bit. It was just
yes.
supervision.
Just supervision.
Yes, supervision in some aspects. In some
So
aspects.
because the army is normally very self-sufficient. The army has everything it needs within itself, for the most part.
Hopefully,
so
yes.
you just have to call upon
Yeah, you just have to call.
various experts
Yes.
and
Yes.
let them put it together.
Exactly. When it was done.
First of all, it's amazing because people don't talk about it. I didn't know there are 3 golf courses in this country that are run by the military.
Yes.
But then they are there and they've been going on for a long time. So
Yes.
how much more can you take this sport the way you're taking? Because when I think the army, I think 2 things.
Yes.
Lindsay and Helen Obiri.
Yes.
Yes.
Athletics and football.
Yeah, that's why I said Ulinzi Stars. Like
Yes.
when I say Ulinzi in my head,
Yes,
it's Ulinzi
yes,
Stars.
yes.
So I think of Onyiso and Nyangweso
Yes.
and the team. Then I think athletics, I think Helen Obiri.
Yes.
I want to be able to think golf, think army and think golf.
Yes.
How far before you start giving us stars? Because that's part of the work of the army is to give us stars in sports.
Yes, yes. Maybe we are predicting the past. I believe we already have some stars already.
Yes.
Very soon, I think you will see them during the tournament.
Yep.
We have quite a number of good, low, upcoming young handicappers
Yep.
who will participate. Many we have built before who started in the same course. They are playing now different places, but they started their golf in Moya Base. So I think that train, I may say, already left. And,
The train has already left.
Has already left, and we have the stars already.
And when
It's only a matter of time. You know, as you're saying, you only know Lindsay, but if you looked at any other sport, whether it's rugby, whether it's basketball, whether it's handball, we topped all these sports and dominated them. Volleyball for a very, very long time in the big scene. So golf, it's only a matter of time. A year or 2, and we should be amongst the top. When we put our mind to something, we make sure we do it and do it well.
Major, how is it playing in Diani? And first of all, let me understand, why did you guys select Diani specifically to host the championship?
Okay, first of all, the selection part of Diani. The tournament is a 7-day tournament, which means that if you run it in a members club, you'll have to close the course for 7 days.
Right.
And we started around Nairobi, and most clubs weren't flexible in doing that. Then secondly, the tourism aspect that we wanted to bring in, we wanted to sell our rich culture in Kenya in terms of the sandy beaches of Diani, the blue waters, and Shimba Hills. So the most flexible location that we saw was Leisure Lodge, Diani Leisure Lodge. Yes.
What's the
It
format
came with
like?
the whole package, including logistics.
Yeah.
Where you have the hotel and right opposite is a golf course. So you really don't have to move from one place to the other, deal with traffic and all those things. Plus the culture of the people. There is a culture night, and you want people to be the grassroots. So where they are meeting the Digos and Giriamas around there and experiencing that culture.
Right.
It's also a very good aspect. A part of it that made us choose Diani.
Okay, right. We'll continue the conversation on Sporton. And remember, we're talking about the CISM Military World Golf Championships that's going to be hosted here in Kenya, in Diani, in the county of Kwale. Well, we'll continue that conversation after this very short break on Sporton. Welcome back to Sporton, and today we are, of course, having in conversation. It's regards to a very big major golf championship that's happening in Kenya, Wakabi, and especially in Diani, in Kwale. And I like the fact that it's been taken to sea level.
It's Mombasa, man. It's if you want anything in Nairobi, Mombasa Raha. So I completely understand, and it's golf. And I'm curious. First of all, let's talk about how many teams are coming in. How many total golfers are you expecting?
Okay.
Yes.
We have 20 teams actually, 20 countries, Kenya inclusive. So 19. Yeah, of course, yeah. I think 7 are from Africa: Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, Botswana, Zimbabwe. Uganda, our neighbors, Tanzania, it's quite a number. Zambia.
Zambia, yes.
So there's quite a number of African countries. Then, of course, there's a European. We have the French, Italians. There's a Dutch team, Germany. The Americas, I think we have Canada.
Canada is in the North America.
Then, of course, in Asia and the Middle East, we have Bahrain, we have Bangladesh. We have Estonia, we have Latvia. So quite a number, and I like the mix of the countries that are coming. That's quite a diverse culture. Yeah. And given the theme, friendship to sport, there is no better combination you can get really to exchange ideas and experiences, and just share that experience, because experience is very important. I think it makes you respect other people. In as much as they do something different from the way you do it, then you know they have a reason why they do the way they do. Yeah. Others you can borrow, others you may not, given your own cultures around. But it gives you that chance to interact, and you're giving a lot of people that chance to interact, both those on course and those off the course. So it's a very important interaction session for us.
Let's talk about so it's 20 countries over 7 days. Each country how many do you have a set of golfers? Does everyone have to have the team of 11 like he said, or does it vary? And then what's the tournament format like?
Yes, what I said I think is very correct. A mission has 11 people. There's a chef de mission, that's me, and the non-playing captain, that's him. Then you have 9. So you have 3 ladies and 6 men. Yep. So the team, the playing personnel are actually 9. Some countries can't raise 9 players. So the minimum you can raise for men is 4 and 2 for the ladies. Those ones will count. So even those who are playing 6, only 4 of them count, and the ladies 3, only 2 count. So if you are less than that, CISM will not deny you to participate. So say you are alone or you are 2 people. It's friendship through sport. It's never that serious. Come, play, enjoy. Yeah, your scores will not count because you're only 2, but please come and play.
Right.
Yeah, so we're not denying anyone that chance, any military that chance to come and play. So out of that, we have 122?
22 players, yes.
122 players, yes.
And the format is stroke play.
And format is stroke play.
Stroke play, yes.
Yeah.
Individual stroke play.
Individual stroke play, no handicap being factored in. Yes. But it's generally a mid-handicappers tournament. Single, yes, up to mid, maybe 15. That's the majority of the players. You play golf?
I've spent a lot of time in the golf courses in the past month.
Yes.
Thanks to a good friend of mine. And, and my interest is piqued because last week I was in Roiro.
Yes.
There's a Sunshine Development Tour that is taking place in Roiro.
Yeah, that took place,
And the last day I actually followed the leaders. And I was like, there's something very different about watching it on TV and actually following it.
Yes.
There's something very individualistic about golf and yet teamwork about it.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It's like no other sport that I follow or that I have attempted to
No
play.
other sport is similar. So that handicap basically, as I wanted to say, is it's like it's about equating people in golf. Yes. So because you are not a good player as he is, or Tiger Woods is, then the coach says, okay, you can't play as good, so you have extra strokes to do this. So if it was running, for example, and I'm running with Usain Bolt, he'll say, okay, you have been running this whatever at 18 seconds, at the 100 meters. I do it at 10 or 9 point whatever. So you start at 50 meters.
And then I catch up.
Then we start. So once in a while he'll beat me, once in a while I'll beat him. It gives you the chance, that equality, yes. And somebody else will be told, no, you are relatively fast, so 30 meters, another one 10. So golf does that. But in these big tournaments, we all start
Okay.
from
Almost
from zero.
From
All of
zero
us,
going
yes.
forward.
So this one, we're all starting at the
What's
same
your
point.
handicap?
I'm 19.
Ah, good man.
Yes.
in the years that you're moving it very quickly.
No, not quickly. That's quite slow.
No, from COVID.
Yes.
And you're an army man, you're always up and down. I think it's impressive.
Tell us about the course itself, because I'm sure you've done a bit of reconnaissance.
Yes, reconnaissance
Yes.
in French. Yes.
Tell us about the course itself. Of course, people usually look, is it a fast course? How is it? How would you describe it?
Well,
What would work for Kenyans?
Okay, what will work for Kenyans in Diani is not being over ambitious. That course is very difficult, especially with the raps. Raps are the bushes and
Right,
everything. Yes, raps are very crazy there. So sometimes in golf, you may get in your own way by that kind of bravado and everything. So I'm not saying that we play conservative, but we play smart. That is what will get us there. Because the course is difficult. It's an 18-hole golf course with difficult holes. And now being June and July, it's a gusty rainy season.
That's what I was going to ask as well. Yeah.
Yes, the gusty rainy season, now it sort of compounds your challenges. And when you're in a golf course, things can go really wrong if you don't take your medicine, what we say. Make sure that if things are going bad, recompose and move forth. Yes, it's for the team. That's what I tell the whole team. Play for the team.
Play for the team.
Yeah, play for the team.
You just touched on something, the weather.
Yes,
how
the weather.
are you preparing for that? And you mentioned that your team is already there and
Yes,
you're traveling
already
to
there.
join them as well. How are you
Yes.
preparing for that as well?
Yes. Okay, weather elements you cannot prepare like fully for them, but we can try to mitigate them in some ways, of course. One, it's the equipment that we'll use to play in. Gusty winds cause a lot of spin. That's a technical term in balls, in the golf balls. So we sort of try to give them the best premium golf balls to be able to play through. Then also, course management is the biggest thing in it. So you cannot beat the weather. You're fighting the course, you're fighting the weather, you're fighting your own elements in yourself. So we make sure that every day we do a debrief and briefing on how things should go. So there's sort of a scientific method, like in this hole one, you're supposed to use this kind of club. Be here, take this. If things go wrong, manage this to this expectation. Yeah, you don't move it on. But you can't beat the weather because it changes and changes. And you can never hit the same shot twice. So I cannot say that I'll train for this shot today and tomorrow it will happen. It doesn't. Yes.
I'm curious about the mission and why. Is there a particular reason why it's 11?
Well,
Sorry, my brain just speaks. Because you said the mission has 11. So I'm like, what's the why 11?
Well, I think it's also about managing of the courses. Some countries that may host this tournament may only have a 9-hole or something like that. And you don't want to have too many players on the golf course. Given that it's not a tournament in which you have day 1, 2, and then you chop off players. So for major tournaments, for pace of play and people to enjoy their golf, you want to have fewer number or a particular a set number of people that to play the tournament. So CISM encourages about 120. It can be a little bit more, give or take, but not a bad average.
What would be an acceptable result for you as the leader of the Kenyan team? what are their minimums you've set for major? They have said, major, you're the captain. This is what you must give me.
Podium finish.
No pressure, No pressure.
Podium finish. And I think we did it in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, yes.
In the African military games that just ended in Nigeria. In the golf. That was a multi-sport CISM tournament. And golf, we got the bronze. So
there's no reason why Major can't deliver for you.
More so at home.
More so at home.
Yes.
He understands the cost, the weather, the food, the people.
He even knows what to do. You just heard him say the weather, the wind, and you must be calculative. So,
Final word, what are your expectations?
My expectation is to rally my men to play their game. Okay, in golf, since golf is an individual sport, I cannot term team expectation. Individual expectation, I hope that the training shall kick in. Yes, because the mission training that we put in. So my expectation is that whatever happens, the team knows that we are playing for Kenya. And there is no score that is bad. You understand? So most of the time, you might be castigated like being the weakling of a team. Team. But we say that there is no weak cog in this thing.
It's everything works.
It's everything works. So what I want to tell my team, play well and may the course be with you.
May the first be
May the course be with you.
May the cost be
I
with you.
got it.
I like the word play.
Yes.
I like the word play. Final word.
Yes.
Colonel, final word.
Yes.
Kenya in sports and the army, it's like
Yes, we are one and the same.
all the time.
Yes.
How much can we expect the army to keep giving us great stars? Like you said, you are a big source of talent. And I think you have a symbiotic relationship with sports in this country.
Yes, time maybe is infinite, so I don't think there's any time you're going to stop.
Yes.
We will continue producing the best sportsmen forever and ever, in my opinion. I don't see it ever stopping. We have done that since time immemorial and will continue to do it, produce good sportsmen.
Does it have a significance?
Yes, fitness is a very key part of being in the military, and as such, you find that by nature, most of the people who join military are sportsmen also, at the end of the day. It comes naturally. So whether in rugby, or football, or golf, or whatever sport, I think generally we do well, probably because of that. That's how we are nurtured. From the day you join the military and say, I want to join, you become a sportsman immediately, in one way or another. Whether in athletics or football or wherever, you will become an athlete. Okay.
Gentlemen, thank you
so
so
much. So that way we will we'll continue producing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I bid and wish the team well.
Yeah.
And may the gods of God be with them.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much. I wish you had more time. I love the conversation. I love the enthusiasm.
Yes.
We wish the Kenyan team all the best as they host the, I'll pronounce it correctly because Wakabi told me to pronounce it correctly. It's the CISM Military World Championship. Now, the CISM stands for Conseil International du Sport Militaire. That is how it is pronounced, Wakabi. The International Military Sports Council, CISM.
Yes.
See, you've brought the show right to the level of Major and Colonel. Thank you very much. At least we are not feeling out of place.
Yes,
Amazing
absolutely.
pronunciation.
Yeah. Gentlemen, once again, thank you so much. Wish you all the
very much,
best.
Manal.
Of course, remember the championship will be happening on the 22nd of this month in Diani, so catch all the action in Kwale, in Diani most specifically.